Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This word with Marty is privilege. It's a word that's been very carefully appropriated by activists to imply that much of people's success is a result of things having nothing to do with their effort, their intelligence, their ability. It's who their parents were, etc., their race, their gender. But most people who I know who have been successful have not primarily benefited from their, quote, privilege. They have been hard workers. They've been delayers of gratification. They have saved rather than impulsively spent and invested. I think of the millions of people who started in this country as immigrants from China, from Vietnam, from, yes, the Holocaust, and the remarkable percentage of them who have, because of their hard work, their intelligence, their delaying of gratification, their willingness to invest rather than spend, have achieved well beyond many native-born Americans, quote, privileged, even the privileged white males, have achieved. I grew up knowing a lot of Holocaust survivors, my father and mother being one. My father they both of them came to this country with nothing, absolutely nothing, and took nothing, no welfare. My father and mother both worked in factories. And they took the meager earnings that they saved. We were living in a tenement in the Bronx. Took the meager savings. In addition, I should mention that on Saturday mornings, after he worked a 50-hour week at minimum wage or near minimum wage in a factory, he took the shirts. He asked the boss whether he could take the shirts that he sewed during the week and could sell them on the streets for $1.50. He bought them for $1. This was back in 1948. And he saved up enough money for a crappy little store in a horrible, dangerous neighborhood, still a bad neighborhood, 105 Moore Street in Brooklyn. And he worked in order to afford a middle-class life to get us out of the tenement. We lived just in an apartment in Flushing, Queens, a very blue-collar, middle-class, maybe middle-class area. And he was not anomalous. I got to know dozens of Holocaust survivors, and most of them had the same kind of story. And you look at Korean immigrants, East Indian immigrants, Chinese immigrants who were enslaved building railroads, Japanese who were in internment camps, Vietnamese who suffered war, who had to come here with no language. And of course they got some help. Nothing is pure. But to write these people off, or even, let's say, heaven forbid, the middle-class white male, who may have born into a middle-class family because his or her father, his father in the case of white male, worked hard enough to earn money in order to be middle class, should that be held against this person? When the supposedly unprivileged are less likely to do those things to have earned their right to a middle class, or even, heaven forbid, a wealthy existence. Privilege is truly understating and undervaluing and squashing what is the essence of has made civilization work. The people who have been smart, worked hard, delayed gratification, invested, started businesses that met customer needs. You're hearing more passion in my voice than you usually hear in these Word with Martys. Because I believe not only is it a gross unfairness to the people who have earned their middle class or wealthy existence, but we have an era in which we have done 50 years or more of redistribution to the supposedly unprivileged, taking from people who have worked hard, who have paid a lot of taxes, whose schools have been eviscerated by the trillions of dollars attempts to redistribute effort from gifted kids or average kids to the lowest achievers. I think of what the middle class pays. They pay the most painful share of taxes. These are the contributors. They should be our heroes. and yet they pay the most painful share of income tax, sales tax, property tax, user fees. Privilege? It is an utterly unfair word. We should honor these people, not devalue them by labeling their successes. And they were just lucky, they were privileged. Enough. I thank you for watching. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. I didn't want to talk about myself much, but I'll just say I was a child of that father who grew up in dire poverty, and I did delay gratification, and I did work hard, and I did invest, and I was generous. So when I hear the word privilege applied to me, yes, I get angry, certainly more often even sad, and it's ubiquitous, using the word privilege and its equivalents, that more and more redistribution is required of us to give to those who have contributed far less. Okay, all my 32 books are on Amazon. One of the most relevant to this probably is How to Do Life. I have a new one coming out in a few days called In a Word, in which I've riffed, as I've done here, on 90 worthy words. You can go to Amazon, search on my name, you'll find all 32, and soon in a few days, all 33. Just, my name is Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.